lights are off because it's daytime.
Tricky. I'm gonna play some Sharon Van Etten, 17. It always gets me like right on the verge of tears. The song, well, her song, that #1 hit, I think is one of the greatest #1 hits we've had. I mean, since John Lennon's Imagine. I'm not gonna lie. I could be stretching it on that one. There's a lot of good. I mean, I'm talking about #1 hit though. She studied recording in Tennessee, University State, Tennessee. She was from New Jersey. I actually dated a college professor at Long Beach. She was from New Jersey too. New Jersey people, they're full of a lot of passion. They really are. I'm not setting them aside, but New Jersey's, there's a lot of passion in New Jersey. I mean passion. I do honestly feel that it is one of the greatest #1 hits in the last, I would say, 50 years. Right up there with Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, John Lennon's Imagine. The song's called 17, Sharon Van Etten's. I'll have to get more information on it before I just spill a bunch of factual knowledge, album name and stuff like that. But she studied recording at the University of Tennessee State. I think it's University of Tennessee State. And then she worked at it was a coffee bar or coffee cafe and a record vinyl shop where they sold vinyls. And they had live music there too. It's called the Red Rose. It's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm gonna have to look on the pronunciation, but Murfreesboro. So Sharon, from the rumors and from information, she once tried to be a stand-up comedian. I don't know if this is true. She would know. And so it didn't really work out. And she, I don't know if she played music at the Red Rose in Tennessee, at the coffee shop in Murfreesboro. But I know that she probably was playing music on the side secretly. She worked there for 5 years at this little coffee shop. They played live music and had records and stuff for 5 years. It's a long time. And then she shows up at her mom's doorstep. That's in the Wikipedia too. She's got a lot of albums. She's dangerously good. The music video is great too. Anyway, okay. The songs that I compare it to are Linda and I did a version, not of Sharon Van Etten, but it was a Bruce Springsteen song written for Patti Smith in one way. Because the Night. Yeah, Because the Night. That was Patti Smith. And that was full of really raw emotion. And that was a #1 hit that goes up there too for all-time #1 hits. It was written by Bruce Springsteen pretty much for Patti Smith. Because the night belongs to lovers, all that. Yeah, that's another #1 hit that's like an all-time great one with John Lennon's Imagine and a top 50. But as in modern day is what I'm talking about. Modern day as a #1 hit. We don't get a lot of them. Music's scarce. The music industry is very funky. There's a lot of AI stuff going around. I can promise you this, Linda and I, we don't use a lot of that stuff at all. Now, we have used GarageBand because it's available and you can put stuff together, but we only have one instrument that we primarily use, and that's an Oscar Schmidt guitar that I bought, or that my mom actually bought for me when I was in New York, when I was studying with James Lipton at the Actor Studio Drama School. I just needed a guitar. FortWorth4th.com, July 4th. There's free stuff going on here everywhere. But we only use that guitar, and then Linda will play the recorder because Linda once played the clarinet. And she has a friend that plays a trombone, which I'm trying to get him to get a trombone. Just so we can music is healing. It changes you. It puts you on the right path. It's like a straight and narrow path. If you want to play like a cover song, then you better get your ears together. You better get your muscles together. You better get your posture together, and you better start really studying, because you can't just pick up a cover song and just start playing it. Some people can, they get that good. But I'm talking about where we learn stuff. We learn as we go. I've countless times attempted covers, and all that stuff stretches you as a musician. You don't have to play it public if you don't want to do cover songs, but it stretches you. But anyway, the thing that's great about Sharon Van Etten is that, for one thing, it's simple, right? But there's a lot of ambient, and the recording is complex. So it's way above other recordings. She studied recording, so she knows it. She knows the layering, and that's a cool statue. She knows layering, and she knows timing, and she also knows how to reach her emotions, which not all musicians can do it at the level that she could. So her other number one hit, I think it goes something like, when the sun comes up, I see double. When the sun comes up, I'm in trouble. Yeah. That one, there was another number one hit that she did. That's got a video of a guy that's like a vampire in it. He's like an old actor. And that one's also very addictive. That one may have come before 17, but I'll have to look which one. But those are her two great number one hits. 17 I like better though. Downtown hotspot. It also uses language that we understand in our Generation X, like this thing that we have to find these words that come to us, and they kind of, just like the music, they kind of titillate and excite. And like, oh, what are they talking about? Downtown hotspot where? Downtown hotspot where? You know, it makes you think. Words are important. Remember, David Bowie started off doing children's songs that were very, very strange. But that's all I remember from that song. I mean, right now, I'd have to look at the lyrics. I just remember Downtown Hotspot. And then I remember the word 17. Sorry, I'm just being honest. Here it is, the Hampton Inn. So we're dropping off some good Italian food. It's artwork right at the Hampton Inn. I guess it's photographs. Also like litho things. It's litho paintings. All right, there's the Will Rogers Stadium. The Bones Brigade came here in the late 80s. I met Mike McGill. I think Danny Way was with them. And Lance Mountain was there. I even got his autograph on a hat. I don't know where the hat is, though. When I first got into possibly like trying to start a band in high school, my friend said, well, when you think of music, think of it starting off small, and then it builds and stacks, and it goes somewhere. So that it starts small, and then it builds and builds and builds, and more stuff is added. People love that. He was talking about a number one hit. The idea of that. Not every song does that. But 17 does. It starts off small, 2 chords on the piano. And then there's ambient music, like, meaning sound effects almost. I don't want to look into the light. But it makes a cool effect. And then, you know, the drum comes in a little harder, and then you have all the other instruments starting to lay in over on top of everything else, and then the vocals are very clear, and it just gets your attention, and then it goes somewhere. You know, it goes just like Patti Smith and Because the Night. It does the exact same thing in a different way, and many other hits too. But anyway, think about John Lennon's though. Imagine though, it actually sticks mostly with the piano, if I'm not mistaken. But I think they did lay down strings. They call it strings, but it's really chordophone. Well, chordophone, chordophone is what I think they call the piano. Strings is kind of a slang name for the violin, because I don't think they're in the string family if you look. They might be. But when I looked it up before on Wikipedia, the violin is in a different, I want to say it's a chordophone. But that's just an argument. That's just a music lesson kind of thing. So the violin, which is referred to as the strings, is actually a chordophone, and it's hard to describe, but you have to look it up on Wikipedia. But it doesn't matter, like if you're at a studio recording, they're like, well, we're going to bring in the strings, you know. I think the piano, I know it's a percussion instrument, but that may be what they were referring to, because I've heard many bands say that we're going to bring in the strings, and you're always like, oh, you mean the violins, the violin, the fiddle, the chordophone. I want to look up piano, see what that is. All right, I looked it up. The piano is in the keyboard family. So you got the piano, the keyboard, the violin, the chordophone. So when we'll act like we're kind of smart aleck and go, oh, you mean we're going to bring in the chordophones? They're like, what? Well, we're bringing the strings. Yeah, the chordophones, right, cool. I don't know. But it is nice to have violins and stuff in your music and everything. I'm gonna have to listen to it. I'm listening to 17. I like to listen to like the different instruments that have been used, you know. They're like little Beethovens all laying it down. It's kind of sad a little bit for some reason, I don't know. Because we all used to be 17, you know. But I'm trying to understand the idea behind a #1 hit. There's an ingredients. Richard Beato knows it, though. He'll lay it down. He'll sit there and tell you numbers, chords, chordophones. He'll go into a lot of detail because we're in the information age. I love watching this stuff. Usually if I watch his channel, I watched it the other day. I cut it off in the middle because I got tired. But usually when I watch Richard Beato, I'm picking up the guitar trying to put together a #1 hit. Because it comes out of the air. It's something new. He talked about having surprise notes, which are there. It's there in 17. There's surprising ambient sounds and things that get your attention and like rattle the rattle in front of you, you know. Bowie was good at it. Sharon Van Etten's great at it. All of the #1 hit people, like Bruce Springsteen, could do it too. He did a lot with his voice. Bob Dylan did the same with his lyrics. So if I use it at the pump, I save money. All right, so it's showing 310, and then right there it shows 315. And remember, Modern Art Museum was doing Surrealism and Us. I used to live right there too, off of Darnell Street, in the Darnell Apartments, a long time ago in the mid-90s. They turned it into a Modern Art Museum. Can't tell what that is. Okay, I see there's flowers. I guess for the 4th of July. That place that I went by the other day called the Biz Drop, right next to the smoke shop. There, you do like cheaper copies, printing, things like that, business stuff. It's called the Biz Drop. It's right off 8th Avenue, right past Mitchell. This is my old stomping ground when I was a little older than 17. I guess maybe I was 17. Maybe I was about 17. Yeah, because I finished up my last 2 years of high school here. I went to like 3 or 4 different high schools. Pascal High School's over that way. This is Elizabeth Boulevard. It'll run to Willing Avenue. We'll pass by my old house again. It's also known as Ryan's Place. We did Christmas caroling around here too one time. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, this is the road. The drop is just a little bit further past our old house. So I guess it was my junior year in high school year. And then I lived in Denton for a while, and I'd come back here sometimes in the summer. It's kind of like the last little launching pad that you have until you're launched out into the world. And my parents moved to Maine. It was right here, 2618 Willing. That's where we live. Now they have a library, a neighborhood library outside. This is still on Willing right here for the drop.